Good morning. Yes, I'm James Berresford. I'm Chief Executive of Visit England, the National Tourist Board for England.
World Travel Market, very key show for you.
Oh, absolutely, and a great buzz here on the opening day. A lot of interest in the stand, a lot of interest in the product, and it makes me confident about the future.
You mentioned there the future. Next decade, it's in England, it's been dubbed the decade of sport with so much coming up, particular 2012 Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, we're quite excited about all that. We're very excited by all that. 2012, obviously, is the major sporting event, if not the major event in the world, and that's happening here in London. And we think it'll kick off a decade of sport because following hard on the heels of that, over the next 10 years, there will be the Rugby League World Cup, the Rugby Union World Cup, the World Cup of Cricket, and hopefully, fingers crossed, there will be the FIFA World Cup of Soccer. And that would be such a great boost to the tourism industry here in England.
Now, sports tourism, in particular with the Premier League, the cricket and the rugby, it's very much a cash cow for England in terms of bringing international tourists to the country.
Yeah, it is, and there's also a real good feel factor about that amongst Brits, about their own country too. You know, there's nothing better than feeling warm and celebratory about your own country. And when we do well, when we host all those big events, which we host really well, then I think it also turns the minds of Brits to holidaying at home here in England. But yes, of course, it's just the most fantastic opportunity, as such shows here today, to turn the eyes of the world on the English tourism product. And, you know, what better than through sport?
Now, Visit England as an organisation, you came into being in April 2008. Can you just tell us a bit about how you operate and how you work with the other tourism authorities within Britain?
Of course, well, it's a partnership. We do the national work, obviously, and one of our main roles is to market England domestically to the British market. Now, we've heard of the staycation phenomena and how that is looking set to continue and to grow. Our role is very, very much to get people to think about holidaying at home, take a short break at home, or a business break at home. And that's really our focus. Of course, quality, research, and the nuts and bolts of tourism that go behind making a great tourism product are clearly at the forefront of our mind and our endeavours. But principally, we want to market England at home as a great product.
And do you feel you have the backing of the new government? I know David Cameron in particular has been trying to champion the British and the English to holiday at home.
Well, I was thrilled when the Prime Minister got up at the Serpentine and made a very positive speech about tourism. And that was absolutely hugely welcome to us and to the rest of the industry. We've also got our own Minister for Tourism, John Penrose, and my understanding is that there will be a new government policy on tourism which will be published early in the new year, probably January. And that's a real boost because it shows that this government is taking tourism seriously across government, looking at things like red tape and the things that hold industry back. Now, you know, we wait to see what's in his policy, but I'm buoyed up and welcomed by the fact that this government, the Prime Minister and the Minister for Tourism seem to be taking tourism very seriously.
Now, how do you see Visit England as a brand evolving, say, over the next decade?
Well, I think our concentration has got to be on quality, particularly in the international market. There are so many new markets opening up, markets that we can capitalise on, but it's also competition. I mean, just being here in the world travel market today, you can see the range of competition that we're faced with. So we've got to concentrate on quality. And I'm really thrilled that the feedback we've had over the last 2 years has been that those people who may not have thought about holidaying at home, who have begun to think about holidaying at home for various reasons, have become really taken with the English tourism product again. There's been so much by way of advancement in English tourism over the last 15 years. For those people who haven't experienced tourism in this country in the last 15 years, it's been a massively pleasant surprise. But, you know, we've got to focus on quality, because unless we do, the competition will snap away at our heels, I'm afraid.
So what would you say to the cynics in England who say, well, you know, I wouldn't go on holiday in England because I can just as cheaply go to Spain, Greece or Turkey?
I'd say try it. If you haven't tried it recently, try it. And I'm not saying that if your holiday is a 2-week flop on a beach in the sun, and I'm not saying, you know, don't do that if you want to go to Malaga or wherever it is. But what I am saying is think of England as an alternative. And, some folks take 2 or 3 short breaks internationally every year. Well, actually, why not think about having that second or third short break here at home in England? Because I can assure all those folks who haven't tried it for a while, the quality is superb. From farm tourism to city breaks, it's just superb. The food in this country, the gastro pubs, the restaurants, it's magnificent now.
Okay, James, well, thanks very much for joining us here on Breaking Travel News.
Not at all. A pleasure. Thank you.